All right, boys. So we're gonna do a quick first look, initial impressions of these Torres Medina boxing gloves. I got two pairs. One, this white one in 16 ounce, right here, and this one in black, same design, just in black, in 12 ounce. And so the reason that I ended up deciding to go with one of each is one, they're both beautiful gloves, and two, when I was looking at Torres Medina's Instagram page where he posted about these, he was saying that the 16 ounce has latex foam padding within it, whereas the 12 ounce has a polyurethane foam padding. So it's more dense, more protective glove, whereas this one is going to be more in the traditional Mexican puncher style glove, you know, knuckles piercing through and whatnot. But the interesting part about that, not only are they using different foams, but within the actual description that he had listed, he was saying that the 16 ounce in latex is actually formed to fit like a 12 ounce glove, like a 12 ounce polyurethane glove specifically. Just so happened that he was also selling the 12 ounce polyurethane foam. I thought, what a great opportunity to get them both, get two pairs of gloves, and really see if that was actually the case. So, got these gloves. My initial impression about taking them out of the box, they do have a nice leather smell, though it is not as strong as, say, a pair of gills. I have a pair of gills in the closet over to the side here, and they still have a stronger leather smell than these. These have a very clean and a very nice leather smell to them right out of the box, just not as strong and whatnot. They're also really, really smooth. Like the interior liner, I know that I'm not gonna have like a great angle at this, but this liner is not a traditional Mexican liner, I'll tell you that much. You guys know how traditional Mexican gloves have that very rough canvasy liner that's like tight against the entirety of the glove, and it feels like you're pretty much just putting your hand right on like the latex foam. These are buttery smooth. Both of them, it's gonna be kind of hard to show over here. One thing though, quick question. One thing that I noticed right off the bat is that liner is nice and tight through the cuff section. Through the cuff section, it feels immaculate, you know, nice and tight, exactly how I like my liners to fit. However, once we actually get to the glove box itself, up in this section, what you notice is that the the liner becomes loose, right? It bunches up, it moves around. I can pull it off the foam. It's just not glued down to the foam. And I'm not a huge fan of a loose liner, personally. I think that a loose liner feels a little bit cheap. I don't like how it goes like between like my fingers and whatnot. And I really started to dislike loose liners when I was buying a lot of Thai-made gloves. A lot of Thai-made gloves have that looser liner to them. And I just didn't like it. But in this, man, the liner is so soft and so nice that even though it is loose and even though that is a quality that I don't like in gloves, I'm not mad at it so far. I do wish that it would be tight, like the gills in some of the other gloves I have. But it's not the end of the world. And I do think that actually gluing it to the actual the foam itself might create a little bit of a rougher consistency, because you can kind of feel in the gills when you put them in. You can definitely tell it's glued there. It feels like the glue kind of affects the texture and the feel of the liner. Now, in the thumb compartment itself, the liner is back to being tight. It's a little bit looser than it is up here, but it's not nearly as baggy as it is in the actual glove box itself, right? So that's one thing. So putting them both on, right? What I'll immediately tell you is that the 12 ounce glove definitely is a little bit tighter in terms of the width of the glove. The finger compartment feels about like a half inch deeper within the 16 ounce than it does in the 12 ounce. And you can kind of see there's like a little bit more down here than there is on these other gloves themselves. And then, like I said, width-wise, these feel snugger on my hand than these. That being said, these do fit like a very snug glove. There's not a lot of dead space here within the glove. The thumb curvature is very comfortable. I was always kind of skeptical about the Mexican bent-in thumb design. However, these feel super natural. When I make a fist, it just feels right. It's not uncomfortable. It's not putting my thumb in a weird placement. It's not bending at an odd spot. And if you have longer fingers, I will say be wary of the 12 ounce because I feel like I have about fairly average size hands. And the 12 ounces do feel a tad bit shallow in the finger compartment and within the thumb. I don't know if you can see this here, but when I pull in, it kind of pulls in on the tip of the thumb. It's a little bit hard to see, but you can see it kind of right there, right? And my thumb is towards the end of that. So that is a little bit uncomfortable. There's a little bit of pinching there. Not anything that I'm going to complain about personally. From like, oh, it's, you know, it's hurting my thumb just right here. But it is something to be aware of. You know, I do think that the hand compartment is a little bit tight in the 12 ounces. I think it is absolutely perfect within the 16 ounce. I'm pulling down and you can see there is a little bit of it pulling in, but I have enough space here that it's not bothering me. I have enough space in the finger compartment that feels very natural, whereas on the 12 ounce, it just feels a little bit small to me. So, perfect. What you guys will notice is that these Torres Medina gloves have these big foam pads here located on the wrist. And they're not very dense, they're very soft padding. It almost feels like they're like, it kind of almost feels like a bunch of like cotton balls are just like stuffed in here or something like that. It's just, it doesn't feel like foam, right? It feels like cotton or some form of cloth in that sense. Not cloth as in like a sheer cotton, but like cotton balls and whatnot. That's what it kind of feels like to me. And it's pretty comfortable. I like how it sits right where you're going to be cranking down on your laces. So you don't get any pinching or like discomfort on there. It's nice and padded. It's a triple cuff glove. So the laces just fall right into those seams. I'm going to be utilizing these with lace and loops. I just haven't got them quite yet. And yeah. Really outstanding ergonomics on this glove. This one, like I said, just a little bit snug for me personally. I have yet to use them. I just got them in yesterday and I took them to the gym and I worked in the white ones. And man, they felt really freaking good. I didn't tie them up and I didn't have my lacing loops, so I just did the old thumb trick. You know, wrapping it around your thumb a handful of times and just sticking it on in. So it wasn't the tightest up here, which I'm not too concerned about. It felt like it would fit very nicely once laced up. That being said, like I said, when I used it yesterday, it was just kind of loose like this, but I still felt like I had ample support. Also, for background, yesterday when I did use them, I wasn't on the heavy bag. I wasn't cracking pads. We were doing like a bunch of Dutch drills, partner drills, you know, catching on like the inside of the hand and working more at a live pace like that. And that, you know, these pads were really comfortable with that. When like shots came in, I had plenty of padding on the inside, so that was nice. I'll say this, 16 ounce gloves, right? These are the most compact, the smallest feeling 16 ounce gloves I've ever used. This is the latex foam padding, and if I press in, I can definitely feel knuckle contact on these, right? And so I haven't like used them for, like I said, bag work and sparring, so I'm interested to see how the feedback is. But just doing the partner drills, it felt right, you know, like when I was hitting, man, everything just felt sharp. It didn't feel like I was throwing around a bunch of 16 ounce pillows. I don't like doing bad and pad work in 16-ounce gloves personally, because I feel like there's a disconnect, right? It's hard to get ample feedback when you're using such a big glove with so much padding. That's not the case with these, mans. I felt quick. I felt honestly like I had laced up or I had thrown on a pair of 12-ounce gloves when I was using these, and they're 16-ounce. I weighed them on the scale just to double check when I first got them, because I thought no way these are freaking 16-ounce, and they were 16.2, the both of them. So just overweight, I'm assuming due to the laces there, but the weighting was perfect. Yeah, very surprising, very surprising. And they already felt broken in, like right off the bat. The second that I threw them on and started opening up my hands, they felt broken in right off the bat. And that was honestly such a nice surprise. Right off the bat, like I said, they've just felt like they were made for me. If you're a bigger dude, in terms of like having bigger hands, or I weigh about like a $190 right now, $195. So they fit beautifully for me. I do like having like a smaller, sleeker gloves. But if you're one of those guys that likes a little bit more of a roomy hand compartment, I don't know if these are necessarily going to be the ones for you. They have a very snug fit, a very comfortable fit, and a fit that I really enjoy. But if you do like the ample space, you like putting knuckle guards and that kind of stuff on your fist, I'd be interested to see how that goes. I'm not a knuckle guard user personally. I just do I just wrap up, do like a little foam pad, or not foam pad, but pad on my wraps. Where I layer it like 5 times over before going to create like a small pad, and that fit perfectly in this glove. It was great. This glove, like I said, I have not used it yet, and I'm curious to see how this one breaks in, because this one is stiffer for sure than the other one, the latex foam over here, and I think that's just to do with the type of foam, because the leather is very soft. It's very tight, by the way, across it. Like there's no loose parts within the leather. There's no bunching. There's no extra leather hanging out anywhere. The leather is very well formed into these gloves, the both of them. Also, beautiful patch on the back. That's one of the reasons why I decided to pick up these gloves, is because like this is the first pair of gloves that Torres Medina has come out with his new logo. And let me just put it a little close to you. That's beautiful. I know it's backwards right now, but that's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so I'm interested to see how these work out. They're definitely a more protective style of foam than the latex is, right? The latex, I can definitely feel like they're nice and soft. They feel so good. I'm just a little bit concerned about, lining someone up with them in the gym. It just feels like that is definitely going to be like a harder kind of sparring glove. So we'll see how it is. We have tech sparring on Tuesdays, so I might play around with that and just see how it goes at a lighter pace. I would absolutely love to use them for sparring. They feel so damn good. But I'm just a little bit concerned about it being a little bit of a rougher spar. They feel almost like a fight glove to me, which is kind of weird because they're 16-ounce gloves, but they're just so nice, slim, light, form-fitting, and compact that like they just remind me of like a 12-ounce glove and more like a fight style glove to me. These polyurethane padded ones, like I said, the hand compartment is a little bit smaller and it's a little bit stiffer. So right out the box, these definitely feel like they're going to need some work, and I'm planning on using them on the bag today and seeing how everything kind of plays out, see if I can't break them down a little bit and get them loosened up just a tad bit. They're not uncomfortable, they just need a little bit of breaking in. Like I said, the thumb is a little bit shorter on this pair than it is on the other pair, and that's to be expected when we're going from 16 to 12. These also were right on weight, 12.3, the both of them. So just barely over the 12 mark. And you love to see that with Mexican-made gloves, by the way, because the pair of gloves that I have, I bought them in 14-ounce, and they came in at 18.5, which is 4.5 over, which is craziness to me. I understand that Mexican gloves tend to run about like 2 ounces over, but like I said, that was crazy. So getting a pair that's right on weight like that, fantastic. Yeah, really great gloves. They got welted seams throughout, which I think personally look better on the white pair than they do on the black pair. That's just because I think like the white strips in here just look a little bit weird with this color pattern. You know, but not bad at all. So aesthetically, I prefer the white pair, but I'm really, like I said, I was really curious to see how the different padding was going to work with it. I wish that Torres Medina had a 16-ounce polyurethane available, feeling how snug those 16 ounces are. I almost feel like they're kind of redundant because they feel like 12 ounces to me. Like when I'm throwing around my hands with them and I put them on my hands, they feel quick and smooth like a 12-ounce glove does. Like this, like when I put them on hand, there's this, of course the hand compartment's bigger and this is more broken in and comfortable. But when I put them on hand, because this one's softer and more broken in, this one actually feels like the lighter glove on hand, even though it's 16 ounces and this one's 12. Craziest thing to me. So I'm really curious to see how this one would play out in a 16-ounce glove. And I'm going to be keeping my eye on Torres Medina's page if he comes out with another pair of 16-ounce polyurethane gloves. Because I would absolutely love to spar in some Torres Medinas. I'm a little bit, like I said, concerned about hurting someone with these. But man, these are some of the most comfortable, most broken in pair of gloves I've personally ever owned. Day one, and I already feel like they're just made for my hand. They feel broken in already. I'm really excited to get some work in with this. This is probably going to be turned into my #1 training glove coming in, right? I have some other gloves, like I have some Asami sparring gloves that are going to be my sparring set. And then I have a few older pair of Onyx gloves, a 12-ounce lace-up and a 16-ounce sparring glove. Right? But man, I wouldn't be surprised if I get a 16-ounce pair of these in the polyurethane. Once again, I have to break this one down a little bit and see how it actually plays out. But from just the initial feeling of it, I'm really curious to see how this one will play out in 16 ounces. Really, really curious. Love the triple thumb, by the way. I absolutely love the triple thumb. I think it looks beautiful. And that's one of the reasons that this kind of drew me in. Yeah, anyways. Just thought I'd get like my initial thoughts on these gloves. I'll keep you guys updated and get an actual proper review out once I get, about like probably a solid month worth of work out of these gloves to really break them in and get the ins and outs. But upon initial impression, man, these gloves, and specifically these latex, the latex version, man, wow, that is a quality piece of equipment. Torres Medina. Good glove maker, man. Good shit.